May is Older Americans Month, time dedicated to recognizing the successes and challenges specific to the older adult population in our country. JFCS maintains several programs to support seniors in our greater Mercer community, from our Secure at Home membership-based Aging in Place program to geriatric care management consults to food delivery for qualified seniors. Our agency continues to be here to serve the community during this challenging time by adapting our services to meet your needs. Our team of geriatric care managers is available to respond to calls from older adults looking for resources or assistance. The discussion today will be led by Andrea Gaynor, licensed clinical social worker and geriatric care manager. Andrea works with our clients in the Secure at Home program and regularly provides guidance on the importance of documentation and planning. Before I turn the presentation over to Andrea, please note questions can be submitted in the Q&A or chat at any time and will be addressed following the presentation. Andrea, take it away.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I just want to have a disclaimer here. I am neither an attorney nor a physician. These documents are oriented toward the legal profession and in some cases medicine. However, as a social worker, I see the fallout of not having documents in place. And I am reminded constantly about the importance of having things set up in a way that would make it easier for family members or friends or whoever might be stepping in for you in case of a medical issue or, God forbid, a passing. So this, during this pandemic, there's a lot more uncertainty around things in our lives, but also many people are home now. So I see it as a good opportunity to take an accounting of what you have and to organize files and to talk to people about what you might need in place. So these are 7, what I see as key documents to understand and to implement as necessary. The first one is an advance directive. That is a statement of what your wishes might be in terms of ventilation, artificial nutrition, resuscitation. And it also might include information about who your medical care proxy or proxies might be. I usually suggest, as do attorneys, that there is a medical care proxy other than a spouse. If your spouse is of a similar age as you, you may want to choose someone, a child or a friend or someone else who could step in if necessary to make medical decisions on your behalf. It's also important for whomever your medical care proxy is to have a copy of your advance directive with them. Many times a child has the medical care proxy for the parent and they live far away and they need to intervene or advocate for their parents in some way. And it would be important for them to have this so they could fax it to the medical provider or the facility or wherever it is that the medical care was taking place. There is a POLST, which is a practitioner's order for life-sustaining treatment. You may have heard a lot about this now. It's said that this is a very important document if you are near the end of your life, and many people don't know if they are or they're not, or if you have very strong feelings of how you want your end-of-life care to look. This is a document that is filled out with your practitioner or your primary care physician. This is particularly important now, even if you don't use the POLST. it's important to have a conversation with your physician about end-of-life treatment and how you would want it to look. And Medicare has a provision to pay for a session with your primary care physician or practitioner to have this conversation. And it's also important to convey it to family members, as would be included in the post if you choose to use that. The difference, I just want to clarify, the difference between a post and an advance directive is, first of all, a post is filled out or signed by your physician or practitioner, and EMTs must abide by the post. If the post is posted in your home, many times it's printed out in green, so it stands out from all the other things on your refrigerator or all your other documents. If it says do not hospitalize, do not resuscitate, the EMTs are compelled to abide by that. An advance direction does not carry the same gravitas as a post does. So that's an important distinction. But it is a good document to become familiar with. And as I said, it's important to have a conversation with your physician or practitioner about care at the end of your life. Powers of attorney are important because they enable someone else to step in for you if you are not able to. And this can include, in terms of legal documents, stepping in to pay your bills, sign checks possibly, and powers of attorney should also be written in HIPAA language, which is Health Information Privacy Protection Act, for specific to medical records. So if you wanted to access medical records on behalf of someone, if you had power of attorney, it would need to be in that language to facilitate that. A burial plan. I talk to people, if I'm doing a geriatric care assessment or if they're joining our Secure at Home program. It used to make me very uncomfortable to talk about, but it doesn't anymore because it's so important and people understand the importance of it. Many times they have wishes that have not been expressed to anybody who would handle things for them. They assume that somebody will know that they want to be cremated. They may have a deed for a cemetery. They may want to be in a family plot, and no one really knows about it but they themselves. So it's extremely important to have a plan and to express your wishes. And I'm going to get down to a little further about having these all in the same place. Last will and testament is important. If you die intestate without a will, your estate will have to post a bond that is 2% of the gross estate. You also need the original copy of the will so probate can be performed. If not, it's a costly effort to get a substitute for that original will. Typically, an attorney will hold it for you. Sometimes you have the original copy, and we'll get to that a little bit later about how to file it. A medical file of life includes your medical history, your medications, who your physicians are. And this is also something that through Secure at Home, we keep copies of all of this information. We have data for all of our members. But if you do not have, if you're not a member, and even if you are, it's important for your family members to know about your medical history, what medications you take, who your physicians are, in case they needed to step in for you, particularly if someone has your medical care proxy. They should know all of this information. If they have to advocate for you or talk to somebody on your behalf, they should have all of this information. So some people put it in a sleeve that with a magnetic back, and that can be on your refrigerator. Some people even keep it in their car. If God forbid there was some kind of an accident, if it's in the car, hopefully you were alert enough to tell somebody that, the EMTs could access the information, and then it could go with you to the hospital if you needed to be hospitalized. And then finally, there's a letter of instruction, or what we call a personal dossier. So all of the aforementioned documents should be in one place. And this also includes insurance policies, financial accounts, tax returns, land, and somehow that got mixed up, but it should be deeds pertaining to land and real estate. Whatever your burial or cremation plans are, vehicle titles, partnership agreements, promissory notes, etc. Copies of it should be in one place. Also, this is very critical, is include any passwords needed to handle your affairs. There's a lot of password managers now, so if you're comfortable, you can share this with family members in case they needed to step in and take care of information or take care of banking or payments or whatever for you. But many times people don't think about that. And also whatever password is on your phone in case they need to get into your phone and screen emails and look for whatever information you have on your phone. Inform your heirs or whoever is going to be handling your affairs where the dossier is located. This also should include name and contact information for your attorney and financial advisors. And again, your attorney may hold original documents. So it's very important that they know who that attorney is. If you have the original, it should be stated as such that it is the original, particularly for the will. That's the most critical for the original copy. And also letters of instruction of any wishes that you have. It should all be here. People who handle your affairs should know where all of this is, and it will make things a lot easier. As I said, I see a lot of fallout around this. People going through all kinds of boxes and files in the house of someone who has passed away or someone who is just incapacitated, and they don't know how to proceed. And a lot of time is spent as a care manager on helping many times adult children or even spouses try to navigate all of this information. So that's about it. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm clicking on chat button. Here we go.
Andrea,
Oh, okay.
there seems to be some chat questions.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at that. Can you repeat, clarify the POLST? Sure. POLST is a practitioner's order for life-sustaining treatment. You can go online and put in POLST NJ, and you will see a copy of it. It is a document that is filled out with you and your physician or practitioner, primary care, about things that might come up in terms of your care, particularly late in life. And it is a document by which medical providers have to abide. So if you have a POLST and it says do not hospitalize, and you have someone in the home with you and you have some kind of a medical event, and they call the EMTs because of course they're frightened and they want to take you to the hospital, if this document is signed and it's available to them, they do not have to take you to the hospital. They must abide by this document. This is unlike an advance directive, which doesn't carry the same kind of weight in that situation. I hope that if you have another question about that, just please let me know. Okay, can we get a printout of the slides? Yes, so after this webinar, it becomes a YouTube, and you can go onto the YouTube and the slides will be available on that YouTube. Alternately, if you want to email me, AndreaG@JFCS online, I'm happy to email you the slides. How do I know where to start if I don't have any documents? Well, I think you should consult with an attorney with regard to a will, an advance directive, or powers of attorney. You can go online and read about it. I think there's ways of doing some simple documents online, although they may need to be signed or witnessed by a notary. Again, this is not specifically, I'm not an attorney. I don't want to answer those questions, but there is a lot of information available online about what I discussed. But you may want to just talk to an attorney and see how he or she could help you with that. The other ones are fairly self-explanatory in terms of putting your papers together in one place. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Beverly, do you see anything else? Any new questions?
Andrea, there's a Q&A. There's a question. If you is it possible to send an email list of those 7 items?
Yes, if you email me, AndreaG@jfcsonline.org, I will be happy to send you a copy of the slides. So you'll have all of this information in one place. Okay. Anything else? Do you see anything else, Beverly? Any other questions, chats?
I'm looking at
My Q&A is lit up here, but I don't see any new questions coming in.
I don't see any other ones either. Oh, please repeat email.
Okay. Andrea, G, ANDREAG, @jfcsonline.org. It's right there. Somebody, yeah, it should be on the screen now.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Okay.
And if there were any other questions that come up, feel free to email me at that same address, and I'm happy to explain.
Okay. Well, thank you, Andrea.
Okay. Thank you.
Participants, if you have any additional questions or are looking for support, our website has a resource page specifically devoted to COVID-19 with articles, blogs, and previous webinar recordings. You can also find more information about our regular programs like Secure at Home under the Our Services page. At JFCS, we are all about help, hope, and healing. We are here for you during this new normal and beyond. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.